Stop scrolling. Sha'Carri Richardson just did something no woman has done in 37 years, and almost nobody is talking about the real number behind it. Rewind 12 months. 2025 U.S. Nationals. The defending champion, the face of American sprinting, lines up in the first round of the 100 meters and runs 11.07 seconds. That time doesn't even get her out of round 1. No semi-final. No final. She goes home while the rest of the country fights for the title she used to own. For a sprinter of her level, that's not just a bad race. That's the kind of result that ends careers. Injuries slow her the following season. Rankings start dropping her name off the top of the list. People start asking if she's done. She doesn't say much. She just keeps training. Fast forward to April 2026, and instead of chasing redemption on a normal track, Sha'Carri Richardson flies 9,000 miles to a town in Victoria, Australia, with a population of about 6,000 people. The race is called the Stawell Gift. It's been running since 1878. That's a 148 years of history. It's a 120 meters, run on grass, slightly uphill, and every runner starts from a different mark based on ability. The slowest runners get a head start. The fastest runners start from scratch, meaning zero head start, dead last position on the field, and everyone else already moving before you take your first step. In the women's final, an Australian teenager named Charlotte Nielsen starts 9 meters ahead of her. In a 120-meter race, that's not a gap. That's a canyon. It gets worse before it gets better. In her semi-final just hours earlier, Richardson straightens up early, stops driving before the line, and a local runner almost steals the win from her. The margin is 7.000 ths of a second. She talks to the cameras right after and says it's straight. I keep doing that. We're working on that. No excuses. Then a false start delays the final by another 2 hours. When the gun finally goes off for real, she's patient. At 60 meters, she's still behind. At 80 meters, she's still chasing. Nielsen's lead still looks like it's going to hold. Then Richardson hits the final 30 and the gap just disappears. She crosses the line in 13.5 seconds. That's the fastest time recorded in the history of the women's race at Stawell. She becomes only the third woman ever, out of every woman who has run this event since 1989, to win it from scratch. The other two are Melissa Breen in 2012 and Brie Rizzo in 2025. Richardson is the only non-Australian on that list. She's the only world champion on that list. Christian Coleman, former world champion, one of the best starters the sport has ever produced, is at the same meet. He doesn't even make the men's final. That's how hard this format actually is. It's not a novelty for famous names to collect easy wins. It's built to expose exactly the kind of runner who relies on a fast start. And Richardson doesn't have a fast start. She has a closing gear. And that's exactly the shape of runner this race is designed to punish. So, people start doing the math. Analysts online estimate her 100m split inside that race at somewhere around 11 seconds, maybe as fast as 10.88. That's not a confirmed time. That's projection, but it's the kind of projection nobody was making about her a year earlier. Then, she takes that momentum straight into U.S. Nationals, held for the first time since 1991 at a venue in New York City. First round, 10.90 seconds, the fastest time across all 4 heats. Semi-final, 10.78 seconds, wind-aided, but the neutral conversion still puts her around 10.90, meaning the speed is real regardless of the wind reading. Then, the final. And this time, she's not the one out front. Kayla White explodes off the line and grabs the early lead. For the first 30 it looks like somebody finally has her number, but Richardson doesn't win with her start. She never has. She wins with her build. Through the middle of the race, her stride opens up and by the final 20 she's level then gone. She crosses first in 10.77 seconds, completely wind legal, matching the fastest time she's run in 2 full years. Kayla White takes second in 10.90, her second straight runner-up finish in this exact race. Tamari Davis rounds out the podium in third. That win gives her a third U.S. 100-meter title, joining her wins from 2023 and 2024. That ties her with Carmelita Jeter for the most U.S. Keely Hodgkinson has already done something no woman in her sport has managed in over 40 years. She broke a world record on the exact snorts same day she was born. She won Olympic gold in Paris. She then lost almost an entire year to injury and still fought her way back to the top. Now she stands 2 days away from a race that could decide if she is truly the golden girl of British athletics again or if that title belongs to someone else. This is her story, music. And this is why Birmingham matters more than any race she has run in years. Go back to 2024. Keely Hodgkinson wins Olympic gold in the 800 meters in Paris. She is on top of the world. Then 2025 happens. Her hamstring tears, not once but twice. She cannot race. She cannot defend her titles. She waits 376 days between races while every other runner in her event keeps moving forward. When she finally gets back to a major final, the World Championships in Tokyo, she finishes third. Her own training partner, Georgia Hunterbell, beats her to silver by just 1/100th of a second. Music. That is how close and how painful it was. Most runners never recover from a setback like that. Keely Hodgkinson picked one word for 2026, domination. Her training group even gave her a new nickname after watching her rebuild her body in the gym. They call her Keely 2.0. That nickname is about to be tested in front of her home crowd. The comeback started fast. In February, at a meet in Live, France, she ran 1 minute and 54.87 seconds in the 800 meters. That broke the indoor world record of 1:55.82, a mark set by Keely Hodgkinson on March 3, 2002. The exact day Keely Hodgkinson was born. A record older than her own life gone in one race. She said after the run that she did not just want to break it. She wanted to smash it. She did exactly that. 1 month later, she went to Torun, Poland for the World Indoor Championships. This was the one major title missing from her collection. She led from the start and won in 1:50 championship record and her first ever world title, indoors or outdoors. Less than an hour later, she jumped into the relay and ran the fastest leg of anyone in the entire race. That is not normal. That is someone trying to prove a point. Music. But here is where the story gets tense. The record everyone really wants is the outdoor world record, 1 minute and 53.28 seconds, set by Jarmila Kratochvilova back in 1983. That mark is 43 years old, older than almost every fan watching this race. Keely Hodgkinson wants it badly. At a Diamond League meet in London, she ran 1 minute and 54.61 seconds, a new British record and the 6th fastest time by any woman in history. Music. That put her within touching distance. Then, things got harder. Days before a planned world record attempt, she fell during a training session and hurt her knee badly. She could barely walk for 4 days. She raced anyway and lost. Then, back in London again in front of her home crowd, she won, but the time was 2 full seconds slower than the fastest time of the year. After that race, she said something important. She said she is not chasing times right now. She is chasing championships. That single sentence explains everything about what happens next. There is another name that keeps showing up next to hers and fans are split on how they feel about it. Music. Audrey Werrow from Switzerland has run 1 minute and 53.80 seconds this year. She now holds 2 of the 4 fastest times ever recorded in the 800 meters. Right now, Audrey Werrow is closer to breaking the 43-year-old world record than Keely Hodgkinson is. Think about that for a second. The Olympic champion, the woman who broke a record on her own birthday, the woman who fought back from 2 hamstring tears, and she still is not the favorite to break the biggest record in her sport. That gap is why so many fans see Werrow as the biggest threat standing between Hodgkinson and history. This is also why Keely Hodgkinson made a decision that shocked her home fans. She skipped the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow on purpose. She had a silver medal to avenge there from 2022, but she chose to save her body for one target instead of splitting her season across 2 major championships just over a week apart. That target is the European Championships in Birmingham, running from August 10th to August 16th. This is the first time this event has ever been held on British soil. It is also where she is going for her 3rd straight European 800-meter title. The field in Birmingham is stacked. Audrey Werrow will be there. Her own training partner, Georgia Hunterbell, fresh off a Commonwealth gold medal, will also be racing, though in the 1500 meters. The pressure on Keely Hodgkinson is enormous. She has Olympic gold. She has the indoor world record. She has a world indoor title. What she does not have yet is that outdoor world record, and she does not have proof that she is still the best in the world outdoors this year. So, here is the real question everyone wants answered. Can Keely Hodgkinson walk into her home country, in front of a sold-out crowd, and finally close the gap on a record that has survived for 43 years? Or does Audrey Werrow, the runner who is already closer to that mark, take the moment away from her instead? Music. One race in Birmingham could decide if Keely Hodgkinson truly earns the title of Golden Girl again, or if that crown now belongs to someone else entirely. The answer comes this week, and every fan of this sport will be watching to see which name gets written into the history books.